before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I just want to say this. Stephen A. Smith, you are disgusting, okay? You are the consummate hypocrite, okay? You can sit up there and try to do all this explaining about how you're handling the case between Von Miller and the case between Josh Giddey, but the fact of the matter is, you, sir, it is a slick talking, skywalking, and I don't care what you say. You're a slick talking, skywalking individual, right? And you said they've been trying to skirt the line, but we all know what the difference is between Von Miller and Josh Giddey. It's pretty obvious. One guy is black and the other guy is white. So if it's a guy like Josh Giddey, then he's supposed to, you know, get this protection, and we supposed to do our due diligence, and we supposed to wait till all the facts come out. Despite the fact that he's not talking, the coach is not talking, the family's not talking. The team is not talking, and he's allowed to play. But Von Miller, who turns himself into police, then there's this whole segment on First Take about that, right? Where you get to project your opinion onto everybody else. Did you afford that same opportunity to Kevin Porter Jr.? Huh? No, you did not. Which brings us to this bitch. Now, this bitch right here has made it known. And I want to let everybody know the only reason she got that job. What's up? Salute to Arkeys Ross for his donation to Cash App. He said, cook that bad, but don't worry. Don't worry, there's a lot more where that came from. Malika Andrews, the only reason she got that job was because Maria Taylor left ESPN for NBC. Malika Andrews was a sideline reporter for ESPN. And she was occasionally come in, interview coaches, stuff like that. But when Maria Taylor left ESPN for NBC, then and Rachel Nichols got fired for what she did, and that's how Malika Andrews got up in there. Malika Andrews was a token hire. She was a token hire. And this puppet, yeah, because look, on the chessboard, Malika Andrews is not more than a goddamn pawn. And she enjoys being a pawn. She enjoys bashing black men and not saying anything remotely close when it comes to guys like Josh Giddey, right? So the fact of the matter is, Malika Andrews is not more than a pawn. Stephen A. Smith is a rook, okay? They both eventually have to do what the puppet master has to say, or the king. Last but definitely not least, you got this idiot fuckstick and Jason Whitlock. Now, he don't work for ESPN anymore, but he still does the same thing. Bash black men or black women, right? Because I never forget what he said about Serena Williams. Serena Williams run laps around this jelly donut eating motherfucker, and he will sit up there on his echo chamber, Glenn Beck's echo chamber, and talk shit about black folks. But when it comes to white folks, either he don't know them, he's never heard of them, or he'll say something to protect them. The three individuals I just put up have one thing in common, is that you guys are nothing more than puppets. You guys are puppets. Stephen A. Smith, you try to go on your little show, trying to do all this explaining about what the difference between Josh Giddey and Von Miller and the NFL, because anybody want to hear none of that bullshit you say. Nobody wants to hear that bullshit. And then you try to talk down and use condescending language and all that. If you don't get your ass out of here, You sitting up here acting like you got all the answers. Clearly, you don't got all the answers because you still ain't fixed. You still ain't fixed that pushback shape up yet. Now, I want to get to what we really want to talk about in this video. And the fact of the matter is, the family has hired Gloria Allred. We all know in the black community how much Gloria Allred is a stain and a disdain when it comes to the whole situation around Bill Cosby. The family has hired Gloria freaking Allred, that that feminist. She is a feminist to the core. In light of to help investigate the situation involving Josh Giddey. Now, my thing is, why would the family hire Gloria Allred of all people? My homeboy Too Raw did a video about how this dude got 2 traffic tickets out in California near high school. Why would you get 2 traffic tickets near high school out in California? I thought the girl you was dealing with was in Oklahoma. That something about that don't sound right. Something about that don't sound right. You got 2 speeding tickets out in California near high school. And a lot of us thinking you're dealing with a girl out in Oklahoma. So what's up with that? Why isn't Malika Andrews talking about that? She talked about Brandon Miller and the case he had nothing to do with. She bring up Adrian Payne. Adrian Payne got shot dead trying to break up a fight, and she brings up a sexual assault case that has nothing to do with why he got gunned down. And he didn't get charged with it. He didn't get prosecuted. There was no warrant for his arrest or anything like that. Brandon Miller didn't get prosecuted for what happened at University of Alabama when that girl got shot dead at the school. But Malika Andrews felt compelled to talk about it. But why is she compelled to talk about Josh Giddey? Why isn't Stephen A. Smith compelled to talk about Josh Giddey the same way you talk about Von Miller? Just because the cops got involved? That's big fucking deal. Look, you're a hypocrite. All right, Stephen A., you coon ass nigga, you a fucking hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, and as long as your paymaster's dangling that carrot over your fucking head, you're going to be the tap dancer sample we always known you to be, motherfucker. Anyway, I'm going to read this article real quick, because I got fish to fry. Well, I ain't got no fish to fry, but figuratively speaking, I got fish to fry. Gloria Allred, the attorney who has taken on a string of high-profile cases involving women's rights, is representing the girl at the center of the investigation into Josh Giddey. The Oklahoma City Thunder player is being investigated by police and the NBA over an alleged relationship with a minor. 21-year-old has kept playing in the NBA while the allegations with first surface or social media are investigated. We all know that, she represented women who accused Bill Cosby of sexual misconduct and the former Congressman Anthony Weiner, right? We all remember who Anthony Weiner is. That's the guy who likes showing his OSCARMEYER via text messages and shit, right? So that's who Anthony Weiner is. Anyway, comes after Cold Sports and Giddey's native Australia said the Thunder guard had believed the team was 19 when they met at a nightclub in 2021, and after discovering she was in fact under 18 the next day, Giddey is said to have broken off the relationship. Okay, yeah, whatever. The New York Post claimed to have identified the Oklahoma City nightclub where Giddey was filmed with the team, stating that the establishment was an over 18 policy. Giddey and the representatives have declined to comment as the NBA continues to investigate the situation. When a reporter asked Giddey about the allegations during the media scrum, this was last Friday during the shoot around, Giddey said he understood why the question was raised and said nothing else. Yeah, I mean, I understand the question, obviously, but there's no further comment right now. Now, Giddey has continued to play for the Thunder since the allegations surfaced, with the Thunder coach Mark Danglio also facing questions about the situation, right? And when they went to Minnesota to play the Timberwolves, every time he touched the ball, he was heavily booed during that encounter in which Oklahoma City lost 106 to 103 to the Timberwolves. Now, since they went and blew out the LA Lakers, and that game was played in Oklahoma City on that Thursday. But anyway, but this is an interesting turn to have Gloria Allred, of all people, do this case. Now, Gloria Allred is, look, if this thing is true, and look, I'm not going to go out and say he's guilty. I'm not going to say he's innocent. But what I will say this, as far as like the whole Josh Giddey thing, right? This behavior is rather peculiar. In the video I did last week about this situation, right? Because see, unlike Stephen A. Smith and god dang on Malika Andrews and fucking Jason Fatlock, I got the journalistic integrity to cover this thing from all angles, right? This is a rather peculiar behavior from someone who's innocent. You mean to tell me that you couldn't just come out and just say, hey, look, this is a false report. I don't know why people out here saying that I'm dating an underage girl. Nothing to that effect. Oh, I understand the question. I just can't talk about it right now. That's not something somebody would say if they're innocent. Why hasn't the coach vehemently defended his player and saying that he told me that this is a false allegation? He proved to me that the girl was of age. So I don't know why we're bringing up this story. We're trying to focus on the game here. But the fact that the coach came out and said we don't have no comment shows you that that's rather peculiar behavior for somebody that's innocent. Then what about the teammate who erased any mention of Josh Giddey and blocked them on social media? That's not behavior indicative of somebody that's innocent. That ain't no behavior that somebody would do where a teammate just erases any history, any mentions of Josh Giddey and then blocks him on social media. What teammate that? I mean, they're in the locker room every day. They're on the court practicing what they would do in scenarios. They're in the game feeding alley-oops to each other and all that. Would it be about Josh Giddey going off a screen, throwing the alley to Chet Holmgren, or maybe Chet Holmgren might find Josh Giddey in the corner, wide open, and he gets him the ball to shoot a three. They run each other all the time. Teammates around each other more than around their own damn family. So why would Chet Holmgren block Josh Giddey on social media when they're teammates? That's nothing. That's nothing indicative of somebody who's innocent. Then you got his Australia ties, right? And look, and anybody come on here talking this shit about, well, he's from Australia and all that. Look, you need to understand something. Wherever you're at, you could be an American over in India, an American over in Brazil, a Brazilian in America, or an Australian in American. Wherever you're at, you gotta abide by that country's laws. That's right. So all this splendid they're doing about fucking well, Josh Giddey ain't from here. What the fuck that got to do with T growing in China? The fact of the matter is, If you are a representative, he is an ambassador of that country. You still abide by the rules and regulations. When I was in the military and I went overseas, whether it been Italy, France, Dubai, fucking UAE, Bahrain, Spain, Germany, it didn't fucking matter. It didn't fucking matter. Wherever country I was in, yeah, I might have been an ambassador to the United States or whatever like that, but I still had to abide by that country's rules and regulations. And if I didn't, then I'm subjected to that country's um disciplinary system. Cause see, overseas, over them other countries, they don't got no right to a speedy trial. They'll keep your ass in jail as long as they possibly could until they feel you're ready to stand trial. And then them other countries don't got no memorandum of agreements to where if you get in trouble, somebody from the embassy go come get you and all that. No, and none of that. Some of them countries, if you get in trouble over there, your ass is fucking done. Your ass is fucking done. And there ain't nothing that the United States can do to bring your ass back home if you're an American and you get trouble in some of these other countries, right? So anybody that's telling you anything different, they out here, one, they full of shit, and two, they arguing on bad faith. But we all know why they were arguing bad faith. Anyway, now I wonder if Stephen A. Smith and Malika Andrews is going to practice this journalistic integrity and report on that. Is First Take is going to have segments about Josh Giddey and the fact that Gloria Allred, the family has hired Gloria Allred to lead the investigation, huh? Because they had a whole lot to say about Von Miller, the Buffalo Bills linebacker. They had a whole lot to say. Matter of fact, they cut into the damn whatever they was talking about before. They went and did a whole breaking news thing about that. And Molly Cam, trained never late when it comes to her ass bashing black men and all that, right? Trained never late when it comes to that bitch doing that shit. And what she do? The same thing she did when it came to Deshaun Watson. The same thing she did when it came to Ray Rice, right? So, look, y'all out here trying to treat us like we're idiots and all that. Stephen A. Smith, you out here trying to treat us like we're idiots. You trying to treat us like we don't know what the fuck we're seeing and all that. You sitting up here trying to gaslight the situation. You piece of ass white. We see what's going on. We see what the fuck's going on. Now, is you gonna talk about this on your little show, huh? Are you gonna see? Are you gonna talk about this? The fact that the family hired Gloria Allred to be their attorney for this case. You know, Gloria Allred gonna look to put this dude in jail because she's a feminist. She gonna look to get a bag, and she gonna look to get his ass thrown in jail because she's a feminist. So, yeah, all that bullshit you saying in your little show, Stephen A. Yeah, you get the fuck out of here. You get your ass out of here. You ain't fooling nobody, right? You're here trying to name call and all this other stuff, right? Knowing what the fuck we seen and knowing what the fuck we talking about. The fact that you gotta go in your little echo chamber, do all this name calling, and then you want to berate and hang up on the people who challenges you on your bullshit. Cause see, even though I have my issues with social media sometimes and all that, because not everybody should have a voice when it comes to social media. But the beauty of it is you don't have the last word, Stephen A. You don't have the last word. And that's what you can't stand. You can't stand the fact that you just can't come out on TV or on your little show or whatever like that and be like, this is what I say and this is gospel, and you don't have the right to challenge me on what I say. Well, guess what? Guess what, motherfucker? Guess what? We don't got to do that. We don't have to take what you say and treat it as gospel. Maybe back in the day when there was no such thing as the internet and social media where people don't have a voice. No, no, no. We got voices now. We don't have to take your bullshit no more. We don't. We don't. Now, is you gonna talk about this? Because this is a major update. This is a major update to the case. Is y'all gonna talk about this? Huh? If there was nothing wrong, why would the family go hire a lawyer if there's nothing wrong? Huh? Answer that question, Stephen A. Since you the so-called journalist, since you know more than we do, right? If there's nothing wrong, why would the family go hire a lawyer? That's nothing somebody who's innocent should be doing. Listen, all this shit don't even make sense. Of somebody who's innocent. But hey, you got to practice journalistic integrity, so we really can't talk about it right now. We really can't talk about the case. We all know why you won't talk about that case. The fuck out of here, Stephen A. You ain't fooling nobody, man. And the fact you got to keep on going to your show and try to do all this explaining and try to do, well, this is the difference between Von Miller and Josh Giddey. We all know what the difference between Von Miller and Josh Giddey. Von Miller is black, Josh Giddey is white. And your buck dancing ass would gladly go on TV to bash a brother, right? Just when Des Bryant, when he went on his rant about Malika Andrews and her lack of journalistic integrity, did Stephen A. Smith play the background or whatever like that? No, he did not. He went on and put on his black man cape to defend Malika Andrews about Des Bryant. Talk about Des Bryant going overboard and all this stuff. Des Bryant shouldn't have said this, and Des Bryant should have did things that way. Who the fuck is you to call yourself wagging your finger by anybody? The fuck out of here, man. I can't stand this motherfucker. Yo. Look, if there's one person I cannot stand outside of Jason, 3-chin, no neck, big titty having ass motherfucking Whitlock, is this dude you see on this thumbnail right here. Because he always does this shit. He always does this shit. He went on this big old racist, not racist. He went on this big old screed against Kyrie Irving when he posted a link on social media and all that. And it turned out he actually, I couldn't believe he admitted it, that he had a personal issue with Kyrie Irving. So that's why he went on this big old long-standing diatribe on TV about this, that, and the third when it came to Kyrie. Anytime Kyrie did this, he was on some self-righteous screed about it. Anything that Kyrie did. And then he spilled the beans on the Pat McAfee show about him having a personal issue with Kyrie, but he won't say what that is. But knowing the sellout that Stephen A. Smith is, knowing the buck dancing, shoe shuffling, shoe shining Sambo that he is, it will take the right price, and this motherfucker will start talking. If somebody pay him the right price, or he'll tell you why him and Kyrie Irving have beef. He'll tell you why. It just takes the right person, and the right dollar amount, and he'll talk. He'll talk. So, once again, Stephen A., you gonna talk about this, huh? Or do you want social media to do it for you? You want people like me and Too Raw and Ticket and 7-8 and the other brothers, the homie Tom Bennett. You want us to do the work for you? You want the LDBC to do the work for you, Stephen A., huh? You want the LDBC to do the work for you? Okay, well, since you won't do the work, we'll do the work for you. Okay? We'll do the work for you. Now, let me know what y'all think about this. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hurt!